Today I will give you brief information about the digital transformation of global bike curriculum. We will start with the story of the traditional biking company curriculum based on the scenario of SAP ERP Global Bike, and the new curriculum which has been recently developed, the digital transformation of the global bike. And in the second session, I will give you an overview about our curriculum and the 5 major modules in the curriculum and the examples of the learning units that takes place in each module. And on the third session, I will give you information about the functionalities, and at the end we will have a discussion session. So the Global Bike is an enterprise that used to produce and sell racing and off-road bikes. The company had two co-founders. One is John from USA and Peter from Germany. So before meeting with each other, John was running a mountain bike business and Peter owned a bike frame company. The business processes of this company include buying materials needed for the production of bikes, selling the products, keeping track of the financial resources, maintaining the whole enterprise. And the company achieved cross-functional integration. And they started in 2000, and between 2000 and 2015, during these 15 years, they ran the Global Bike Company. So as I mentioned, they produce off-road and racing bikes and sold them to retailers and distributors who maintained the relationship to the end customers. Based on this company, the standard curriculum, an introduction to SAP ERP using Global Bike, is offered from the university competence centers. And in 2015, with the emergence of IoT bikes, the company decided to introduce this new product, and they started producing and selling the IoT bikes to its customers. However, the introduction of the product was not what the Global Bike was hoping for. Although the customers loved the bikes and the idea of the IoT bikes, they are too skeptical to buy such a bike for themselves. And therefore the bike is the selling rate is very low because the bike is expensive and the customers don't want to make a big investments on such a bike. And Global Bike started facing difficulties. They introduced a new product and invested money in the development. However, they are not getting any reward for it. In this situation, the company managers, John and Peter, started thinking of a new strategy. Instead of selling IoT bikes, they came up with the idea that they can offer it as city rental bikes. The bikes offered the best premises, and this would be an innovative solution that would help the company in generating its revenue. Therefore, they found a global bike sharing company out of Global Bike Company, and a bike sharing company that is specialized in the rental of the IoT bikes as city bikes. This means that the company has to undergo a transformation from a classical bike provider dealing with retailers to a product service provider that has direct contact to its end customers. The company has to transform its strategy and business model and build new competencies in various aspects. They need to build competencies in order to change management, digital innovation management, and the IoT and the big data technologies. And the company had to also invest in IT security, and as well as on the topics of social media and collaboration in order to address to their customers. So from the classical ERP system that the company is using doesn't fulfill the needs of the retailer company and doesn't offer possibilities for data analysis that are necessary in this context. And the challenges that the global bike undergoing are the challenges that many companies undergo as a result of the digital transformation that is affecting not only the industry and economy, but also has an impact on the society. The curriculum, the digital transformation of global bike, aims at addressing these topics based on the example of global bike. It offers various modules for each aspect of the company that is affected by the digital transformation. The company scenario is competency based, and each module addresses specific competencies for the digital transformation. And the biggest aim is preparing your students to be best qualified workforce of tomorrow by adopting and running the case studies of the digital transformation of global bike curriculum. So to continue further, digital transformation curriculum takes into consideration mainly the business model and strategy and the business processes topics, as transforming from business to business to customer model, and changes a traditional company's business model. It builds new competencies on the topics of IoT, Industry 4.0, social media and collaboration. It addresses the topics of digital security, change and innovation, and usage of S/4HANA system, as well as the Fiori user interface. So the curriculum is designed to gain the students the knowledge from learning units by building on from easy to complex. The learning objectives are built on the Bloom's taxonomy, starting with remembering the main terminology and aspects of digital transformation, the bottom line, and it goes to the up, where at the end the students will be able to create their own solutions for this different aspects in the context of digital transformation. And the curriculum targets the students from bachelor's and master's students studying in information systems, economics, computer science, and mechanical engineering. Maybe you can shortly write later in which department or in which area you are teaching your courses, or your target students are studying, but whether in master's or bachelor's. Okay, from Simon, it is computing master science. Bachelor's in information management and information systems. Thank you so much. It's good that mostly it is information systems and computing. And now we will continue with the curriculum overview. Up till now, if you have any questions regarding the story or regarding the learning objectives, you can just pause your questions. So I will be continuing with the curriculum overview. it is so as you may see, there are five main modules, namely business model and strategy, industry 4.0, and internet of things, enabling technologies, integrated business processes, and cross-cutting topics. So each we will visit each of the modules, and meanwhile I will tell you shortly that not all of the learning units has a case study and teaching materials. Some of the modules are only consist of links for the MOOCs or open SAP platforms. So you will be also able to, we will check everything later on in the curriculum website. And as a first stop, I will give you brief information about integrated business processes, because you are more familiar to this module. You are teaching this module in S/4HANA curriculum. And the case studies of these modules can be named as sales and distribution, materials management, finance and controlling, enterprise asset management, and production planning, which are also available on S/4HANA Global Bike version 3.3. Now we will see two examples from this module. The first one is sales and distribution. Learning unit sales and distribution presents the phases of the traditional and of the new approach of dealing with these business processes. In the traditional approach, there are only three main activities, which are acquiring customers and managing customer relations, agreeing upon selling goods to customer, and delivering goods and services to customers. However, newer curriculum has six steps, which are or six phases, which starts from creating sales order and ends with creating an invoice. In the finance and controlling learning unit, we see that the core of business processes in the context of traditional global bike company was the processing of invoices and payments for sold bikes and the calculation of the product costs. On the other hand, in the global bike sharing company scenario, finance and controlling in the new company focuses on financial management of bike sharing activities and bike maintenance and production planning. So it gives better insight about how a bike sharing company in a digitally transformed company works. And now we will give a second stop in the Industry 4.0 and Internet of Things. This module illustrates the impacts of the digital transformation on society and workplaces. And learning unit social collaboration and project management points out how the digitalization has changed the way people work and the impact of collaboration tools. In addition, learning unit technology introduction emphasizes the latest trends, such as social media and big data. Now we will give an example of a learning unit from the second stop, and the fourth learning unit from the Industry 4.0 and Internet of Things is the IoT integrating sensors. It focuses on teaching how to extract information out of data provided by sensors. Also, this chapter presents the SAP-HANA data streaming, which is a process that consists of sensor data modeling, streaming, processing, and visualization of the data. So all these processes can be done with the SAP HANA Studio, and I will show you a screenshot from the SAP HANA Studio. This tool helps to visualize the sensor data and the values, such an example, workspace or distances from bike stations. So it gives an overview to the students. What are the values that can be seen in SAP HANA Studio regarding the company global bike sharing. And our third stop will be in business models and strategies. It refers to the logic of each company, the way in which this operates, and how the company creates value for its stakeholders. Mainly, there are three learning units: strategy and business model innovation, business change management, and digital innovation management. So we will go for the third learning unit, digital innovation management. This learning unit presents the popular old strategy of finding innovations and the new successful process of finding and developing a new idea in a company. Some of the keywords of the old strategies are parity, novelty, and epiphany, while the new innovation process has multiple steps. These are discovering an idea, doing research to see whether the idea is feasible, then inventing an example, um, 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 which is, for example, a product based on this idea which was developed. And the last steps are launching the product on the market and finally further developing it. And we will continue now with the fourth stop, which is enabling technologies. The importance of this module is highlighted with the same name of the module. This module shows how digitalization is a key factor for success of a company. And now we will visit the first learning unit, enabling technologies and interfaces. Technologies enable digital transformation. Therefore, organizations can simplify their business processes and which can be executed instantly anytime and anywhere. One of the example is how the Kodak company used to be a market leader before the emergence of the cameras with SD memory cards. Now hardly anyone uses traditional cameras where you need film and darkroom to print a photo. So we can say that the reduced architecture fastens the process. And in this learning unit, the presentation slides give better insights and examples about the enabling technologies and interfaces that you can teach to your students. And the next learning unit is the introduction to S4HANA and Fiori user experience. It gives an overview of how S4HANA and Fiori user experience creates a modern user experience through SAP or the SAP mobile platform with mobile devices as well as on-premise. Now we will continue with the last and the fifth stop. The curriculum provides some cross-cutting topics that point to all modules that were previously mentioned, such as digital security, smart data analytics, design thinking. So we will visit now smart data analytics. I know that none of you are teaching machine learning, but if there will be any topic or interest of machine learning. Smart data analytics gives an overview of machine learning. It presents procedures for text mining, sentiment analysis, and it also describes several classification techniques such as KNN algorithm, like K nearest neighbors, and the naive bayes algorithms. An insight of machine learning can be seen in this picture, in this screenshot. Now, if you don't have any questions till now regarding the modules, I would like to present you the functionalities of our website. In the newsletter, I also we also present feature. Okay, but Mr. Polovina, I will answer it at the end, maybe because the link might create some crashes. So I will continue now with the website. So the website is dt.sapucc.in.tum.de, and you can access to our curriculum website with your HA user or with your U user that you normally access to our service desk or our SAP email portal. And now I will share the screen quickly. 1 second. Yes. So here is our curriculum website, which I logged in with my HA user that I normally enter to the SAP email portal. And in the e-session, in the introduction, you can see the global bike story that I told you in the beginning. And it gives a general overview about the curriculum, and it also gives some information about the colleagues working on this curriculum. And regarding any questions regarding our curriculum, you can always reach us from the contact support at UCC email address. Now I will go to the overview where we visit each and every of them previously. So when we enter one of the learning units, let's say sales and distribution, we click on view lectures, and then it directs us to the area of the learning unit. And in the lecture overview, you can read what is included. It says 1 slide deck and 1 case study, and the software, which software is needed or required for this unit. And then comes the learning objectives, so what the students will be able to do after the course, or what will they will be learned. And it also tells about the target audience and target students, so it specifies everything. And when you come to the related material, when you come to related material section, you can download the introduction slides, case studies, or lecturer notes. And also they are divided with the, or distinct with the versions. And you can also see some of the links that we shared with you regarding OpenSAP or MOOCs. So this is one of the learning unit overview, and you can always come back And the next is the learning journey. You can see the learning journeys designed for each module. So the first one is business model and strategy, and for each modules there is one learning journey. So let's enter to first one, and business model and strategy module we are in now. And in this module, the learning units are clustered according to the three levels: introduction, deep dive, and special topics. And we can say that this distinction presents optimal journey of a module and helps lecturers or you can design your courses according to the aimed level. So for example, you want to make a deep dive in this module and you click on business change management, and then you are directed to the learning unit where you can download the case studies and introduction slides. And when we come to the lecturer notes, you can see the curriculum overview slides. You can download the curriculum catalog, as well as you can present some questions through online TED or answer garden, which will create more interactive environment with your students. And when we come to the course calculator, so this feature is designed for you to design your courses according to the minutes and the weeks of the semester. So it will generate an overview how you can design your courses. So for example, we can say weeks per semester, you have 16 weeks through one semester, and you have 2 sessions of 45 minutes every week. And you can see the modules in here, learning units in here, and then you can select all the content of business model strategy E3 value, and maybe you would like to teach something related with industry 4.0, and you can see in here how much of your planned time is fulfilled. If it is not fulfilled, then you can add more. So just for an example, I will add some of the case studies from here, and then I will see if it is reached. Okay, it didn't reach, but we can say select all just as an example. And then, okay, 90% of the time is fulfilled with the selected learning units. Then you can simply click on generate PDF. And it gives again the overview, the timings that you entered and the courses that you selected, and for each slide deck and case study how many minutes you need to devote. And basically it gives you an overview how through one semester you can adapt and teach these topics to your students. And the last tab is the About Us tab, so you can always click and reach to our UCC website, our chair of information systems, and the profile of our professor, Dr. Helmut Kretschmar, and the link of our university. And this is all from my side regarding the functionalities of the website. Now we can continue with the questions and answers that you would like to pose to me. And meanwhile, I will try to answer your question, Mr. Polovina. You mean with XM, which module, Mr. Rodriguez? Could you please write the longer experience management? Um, can it be experience management? Probably most probably we don't have it, but I can take a note and maybe we can start creating a new case study about it, experience management. So I came to the link experience management. I will deep dive into it after our session and will give you a better information about it. So I'm reading now. It may be relevant. I had to. Anna, I read your message. So you're asking about the sales and distribution 4.1 for bike sharing. I'm not sure about 4.1. Is it the version? Because the latest release is the 3.3, and I can ask it to my colleagues if there is any plan to add any automatization. But could you maybe please um, briefly explain the how the automatization has to take place? Yes, you're right. I think experience management can be one of the topics, so I am taking the note now. Maybe, Mr. Rodriguez, you can also access to our curriculum website and go into the details of the learning units. Maybe I am missing information. Maybe there can be a related topic with different name, but um, I will definitely ask it to my colleagues. So, Mr. Polovina, yes, the contents are also accessible from the Fiori, as you are the owner of SAP S/4HANA product, where you can teach both in GUI and Fiori, and this curriculum is also designed to run the case studies in the Fiori user interface. Last time the Fiori-based content was a poor relation to the subgrid. Um, yeah, it depends. So, the poor relation, maybe subgui is more traditional way, but Fiori, which is web-based, and there can be some problems with the internet or with other problems, but I think our basis team is working on improving the experience with the Fury. Um, yes, from the Fury user interface, you can definitely run the case studies without touching the sub GUI. And from Anna, the process is very long for bike sharing to register the service. Seems like a good chance to show how it can be automated. Okay, I'm taking this idea and then I will definitely share it with my colleagues what we can do as a future steps as your feedback is important to us. Okay, thank you so much for your participation. We are also coming to the end within few minutes. Um, in Mr. Polovina, in my information, it is working fully. This weekend there were some problems with the maintenance work, but hopefully it is fixed now. I will bring it to my colleague Alexander Loeffler about the problems that happened this week with the Fury, and I will ask him if everything is fixed now. If there is any continuation with the problems, we will be informing you maybe to schedule your courses a bit on different time, but definitely the problems will be solved. And yes, Mr. Polovina, I will be checking the your suggestion about the experience management and regarding the Fury materials that are working in the Fury. I thank you to all of you for participating. I hope you find it interesting, the story of the global bike. Our aim as UCCs is to collaborate with you, and we would like to get feedback from you, and we would like to improve our curriculum according to your feedback. And I can share it with you, but I'm not sure if I can do it in here. Maybe I can send you the slides within an email, and definitely in BCC. And one more thing, I will be sending to you if you will be okay to participate in our study, which is anonymous, and it asks about your opinions about the digital transformation of global bike curriculum. So in the end, it will definitely give us insights how to improve it for further. So I would like to thank you for your time, for your participation. And as I mentioned before, we are always here to answer your questions from the service desk at service@ucc.tum.de. Thank you. Bye. Thanks, Anna. Bye for now, and looking forward to your comments or participation.